Good afternoon. Yes, I'd like to invite up all the folks who are here today, and as you're coming up, I'm gonna list off everyone who's here. So we have with us Dr. Wendy Stickle, who's the chair of the Montgomery County Human Trafficking Prevention Committee. Donna Rojas, chair of the Montgomery County Commission for Women. Debbie Feinstein. Debbie is not here. Dr. Kara Grant from Montgomery County Public Schools. And Jody Finkelstein, Executive Director, Montgomery County Commission for Women, Montgomery County Human Trafficking Prevention Committee. Jenny Escobar, University of Maryland Social Work Intern, Montgomery County Commission for Women. And Captain Gerald McFarland, Director of the Special Victims Investigation Unit. So thank you for joining us today. Human trafficking is something that is not limited to time, place, age, or socioeconomic status. Human trafficking is a problem that affects any vulnerable population, regardless of where they are located and regardless of their background. Maryland in particular tends to be a hotspot for human trafficking because we are situated with multiple interstate access points, airports, bus lines, etc., and due to the quantity of disposable income that can be involved in supporting those efforts. I know, and Captain McFarland, MCPD has been involved in several high-profile human trafficking busts over the past 2 months alone here in the county, and continue to support our victims of these crimes to help them to become survivors. So it doesn't end with the action that stops the trafficking. There are always additional victims who may be coming forward, and victims need to be able to be supported by our community after undergoing these horrific experiences. So a few things to keep in mind. There is a National Human Trafficking Resource Center that's available 24/7, 365, and you can report incidents or suspicion of human trafficking at 1-888-373-7888 or text to 233-733. It's really important that anyone who sees something in the community that they may suspect involves a trafficking situation speak up. Because unless that information is effectively communicated to those who are in a position to do something about it, people will continue to suffer. The Montgomery County Human Trafficking Prevention Committee just celebrated its 5th anniversary. The task force for human trafficking here in the county was established in 2014, and our committee was established in 2017. So we want to go ahead and turn it over to, flip back, Dr. Stickle to make a few remarks.
Thank you. Gotta get it to my height. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I want to thank the County Council and the County Executive's Office for their ongoing support of the Montgomery County Human Trafficking Prevention Committee. The existence of this committee, the regular conversations we have with County Council, with the County Executive's Office, and with the County Council staff really show the commitment of the county to combating human trafficking. During January, we take this time to recognize the crime that is human trafficking. More often than not, this crime stays hidden behind closed doors or is camouflaged in businesses such as body works establishments, care facilities, hotels, and restaurants. The victims, handcuffed by invisible bonds, age, fear of arrest and criminal records, and a host of other disadvantages, are left unidentified and without appropriate assistance and support. The Human Trafficking Prevention Committee will continue this year to support victims. We will do so by filling open seats on the committee with engaged citizens, organizations, and agency representatives. We will continue to collaborate with our partners at Montgomery County Public Schools. We will advocate for local and state legislation, including Safe Harbor. Safe Harbor seeks to protect victims of human trafficking who are under the age of 18. Such a law ensures our younger victims are never mistaken for consensual sex workers and provides appropriate services to redirect them out of sex work. We hope to also improve local legislation relating to body works establishments here in the county and move closer to a change in infrastructure which would make Adventist Healthcare a central location for suspected victims of human trafficking to receive immediate care and connect with service providers. We have a lot of plans. Such plans take time, resources, and people. We are grateful to you all for your continued commitment and investment in identifying and combating human trafficking here in Montgomery County.
Yeah. So, celebrating the work you try to do and you've done in the past is important. What you lose in the dynamic is the discussions that occurred in 2017 when we undertook this legislation on the council. And to hear the stories from the people who are victims of trafficking was both moving and disturbing when we were dealing with this in real time. And particularly people who were brought here under false pretenses and then held captive under the threat of revealing that they were, they shouldn't have been here, they had violated immigration laws, and if you say anything, then you're going to leave any chance of achieving the dream you had when you came over here. And so those kind of stories motivated the council back in 2017 to take action. So I'm really happy to see the work and the plan, and it's good to see Adventist at the center of some of the work you want to do, because it's important that we do everything we can to eradicate trafficking in this community. And it's alarming that it seems to be, at least if we look at cases, in a rebound now. So we've got work to do. We have educational information out there to help people identify folks who might be victims of human trafficking. You can look sometimes at how they act or how they talk about their situation. And people talked about they could invite somebody to go do something and they were like, they could never go do anything and never leave the house, which is pretty clear that they were not going to be allowed to be in a situation where they could get away. So we ask people to, think about what you see sometimes. Be aware of it, and if you see something that concerns you, find ways to reach out. Within the police department, we have resources to deal with this. We think this is an important issue, and I'm glad the council took these steps, and I'm happy to be here today to acknowledge the progress we've made and also the importance of what was done 6 years ago.
So I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation for everyone. Whereas human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery that is a serious problem in Montgomery County, where traffickers may use violence, threats, deception, fraud, and other manipulative tactics to force and coerce adults and children to engage in commercial sex acts or to provide labor or services against their will. And whereas human trafficking disproportionately impacts racial and ethnic minorities, women and girls, LGBTQIA+ individuals, vulnerable migrants, and other historically marginalized and underserved populations. And whereas our county's Human Trafficking Prevention Committee has worked to identify and eliminate human trafficking, including traffickers, suppliers, transporters, advertisers, and demand elements, and improve services for victims. And whereas January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month, which formally recognizes that human trafficking occurs throughout the United States and emphasizes the need for public and private sectors to come together to focus on prevention, prosecution, partnerships, and support for survivors. Now therefore be it resolved that County Executive Mark Elrich, Council President Evan Glass, Councilmember Don Luedtke, and the full Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognize January as Human Trafficking Prevention Month. And be it further resolved that the county calls upon businesses, civil society organizations, communities of faith, families, and all residents to recognize the vital role we play in combating human trafficking, to learn the signs of human trafficking and how to support victims and survivors, and to observe this month with appropriate programs and activities aimed at preventing all forms of human trafficking. Signed the 17th day of January in the year of 2023.